The barbecue crown. It might look like a difficult recipe, but with this method, it is super easy to make.
Big thanks to Napoleon Grills for sponsoring this episode.
This is a pork loin with the ribs attached to it. Normally we just call this a rib roast, and then in this case a rib roast of pork. And the cool thing about this is that it's absolutely delicious. It has tender meat, we got the cool looking rib bones, and there's loads of it. The first thing that I'm going to do is clean it up. I got my butcher's deboning knife and I'm going to trim off the excess fat and silver skin. Because even though I like the fat, there's silver skin underneath, which is going to make it tough. We don't want that for our eating experience. Of course, your butcher would gladly do all this work for you. I like to do it myself, just a little bit of fiddling with my roast to make it look just a little bit better. One of the magic tricks to make this barbecue crown extra juicy and tasty is by putting in a brine. And I'm going to make it even more simple for you because we're going to use this, the PitmasterX Classic Barbecue Rub. Now of course I've written down the recipe for you on our website, so go check that out. But if you buy one of these jars, then on the side we have seasoning and underneath it is a description of how you make a brine with the PitmasterX Classic Barbecue Rub. And all you need to do is follow that procedure, and that is just taking 3 tablespoons of the PitmasterX Classic Barbecue Rub and then mix it up with 2 cups or 500 milliliters of water. This is about 2.5 kilograms or 5 pounds of pork, and I'm going to try and get the whole 2 cups of injection in that pork. Just going to start out by squirting it into the center. As you can see, I emptied it out and the roast took all about it can take. Now this is going into the fridge so all of the flavor and the juices can spread out throughout the roast. Of course, to turn this into a crown, we have to kind of bend it over and fold it like that. But as you can see, there's a limit to what we can do at this moment. We can't tie it together all the way. And that's why I need to make incisions. I'm going to make incisions in the meat between the bones. And now you can set it up as a crown, no tension on the meat. Looks absolutely perfect. I'm going to make a quick binder out of 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of yellow mustard, and 3 tablespoons of chili sauce. I'm going to mix it up and then rub it onto my pork roast. This binder has 2 purposes. One is to add flavor to the roast, and the second one is to hold on to the spices that you're going to put on this roast. And in my case, I'm using the PitmasterX Barbecue Rub, but you can use any barbecue rub that you prefer. Sprinkle it on, and because of the binder, you're now able to get more flavor on it. And that's what we're going to need because this is a pretty thick roast. Now this is going to be the inside, so that's going to fold close like this. And then it's time to sprinkle on the outside. But before we do that, we're going to tie it all together. I'm going to take a needle and thread and tie the both together. And by using the needle, we can make the thread almost invisible. And you can pick one of those up in any specialist cooking shop, or just go to Amazon.com. We're going to go back to seasoning our barbecue crown. Now the outside seasoning matters for the color. Of course we want it to look good and it has to go in every little corner. This crown is now ready for its barbecue. I'll be cooking on the Napoleon Kettle Pro Grill. This is a kettle grill that is made for smoking barbecue crown. Well, it's not really made for that purpose, but it works really well. I'm going to put in some briquettes, rake them to one side, take a fire starter, untwist it. That will help it light up faster. Light it up, and now you created an indirect cooking zone. And since I'm using the Napoleon briquettes, the smoke wood is already integrated in the briquettes, so we don't have to add any more. As you can see, we got a little bit of smoke coming from the briquettes. It's time to put the grill grate in, set the barbecue crown in opposite of the fire, and then of course I want to keep my eye on the temperature, so I'm going to stick in a thermometer. Now I'm going to consciously stick this in on the coldest side of the barbecue so I know what part of the roast is going to go the slowest, and then I'm going to switch it around every now and then while it's smoking so that it cooks even. Close the lid, set the bottom vent to almost all the way closed, and I'm going to set the top vent to completely open. In the meantime, I'm going to make the PitmasterX Sweet Apple Barbecue Sauce. I'm going to take a cup of ketchup, add a 1/4 cup of a good quality apple juice, a tablespoon of Worcester sauce, half a tablespoon of ground pepper, a tablespoon of the PitmasterX classic barbecue rub, a tablespoon of honey, and 3 tablespoons of cane sugar. I'm gonna stir it up and let it come to a syrupy bubble, then the barbecue sauce is ready. I got a notification. The pork is at 65 degrees Celsius, which means our pork loin, well, excuse me, not the pork loin, the barbecue crown is fully cooked. And oh my, look at this beauty. Oh, we got that barbecue color going on, which means we got mahogany red from the smoke color. We got that paprika, and we got that beautiful orange color from the spices. Now this is one delicious looking barbecue crown. The only thing that is missing is the sauce. So let's brush it on gently. Oh, don't get it on the bones. The bones are beautiful as they are. And make sure a little bit of that sauce goes everywhere. I'm gonna close the lid, give this sauce a few more minutes to get up to temperature and get nice and sticky, and then, what an absolute beauty. Ooh. What a great piece of meat and what a great presentation. It just turns a really good pork loin into something freaking amazing. We got the smoke color, we got the nice orange. Everything you're looking for in a good piece of barbecue meat is right here.